Hello, everyone, and welcome to Operation Merriment. Today, we're doing something special. People are welcome, even if they are not signed up. And we are going to be celebrating Sunglasses Day. And obviously, sunglasses make you look very cool. That's obviously very clear. But today, my job is to remind you that it is a miracle that we even have sunglasses in our lives, and really to inspire you to share the joy of them with someone else. Now, if you have never been to Operation Merriment before, we go through a bunch of stuff. We go through the history of what the unusual holiday is. We go through the facts, some trivia. We celebrate really like what this holiday kind of represents and is about. And then we go into a way that we can spread that topic with someone else. And it's really just a way for us to kind of remind ourselves about this thing. It's like any other holiday. We're getting ourselves an opportunity to remind like what that thing is. It could be an anniversary, is or a religious holiday, doesn't really matter. So Operation Merriment is about creating your own good news. And this is mission number 64. We have never had a slideshow before. We have never had a workbook. And if you stay, you're going to get access to the workbook. Okay, now the history of sunglasses. In the 1200s, the Inuits were making the first ever kind of sunglasses, and they were, we are needing to admit more people here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here we are. Okay. The Inuits were making the first ever kind of sunglasses. So they were walrus ivory with slits for snow blindness. And that is the official name for snow blindness, photokeratitis. And also in the 1200s, on another side of the world, Chinese people were doing something completely different. They were making smoky quartz lenses. So this was not really for any kind of protection for the eyes, but they were trying to conceal facial expressions. It was specifically for court judges, so they could appear impartial. Now, those were really the only kinds of sunglasses that were happening really by any means for a very long time. And then we fast forward about 500 years, and we've got this optometrist guy in England named James Eyescoff, and he is starting to experiment with the intent of trying to correct visual disabilities. And he finds out that green is the best for protecting your eyes from the sun's rays. Now, that's not his intent. This is a pure scientific accident that happens in science all the time. But he does, as a result, find out that green is the best color for protecting your eyes. And then fast forward another, almost 200 years, and this guy named Sam Foster, he is an Austrian immigrant, and he merges the technology found from that guy, James, with plastic frames to create and sell the first pair of sunglasses that we know about today. And he does that on the Atlantic City boardwalk for 10 cents. So you can see that these are the Igak or Ilgak sunglasses that were used by the Inuits. These are the smoky quartz lenses, and then these are the green lenses. And those were actually really popular for a really long time for a bunch of different reasons. Edgar Allan Poe wore those. A lot of famous people wore those. Okay, now some more history of sunglasses. Less than 10 years after that first pair of sunglasses was sold on that Atlantic City boardwalk that you can see up here, that's what it looked like in 1929 on the Atlantic City boardwalk. Life magazine reported that 20 million pairs of sunglasses had been sold. So that's crazy. 20 million pairs from no pairs whatsoever. And they were calling them a new fad for wear on the city streets, a favorite affectation of thousands of women all over the US. And celebrities like Betty Davis featured here were making them radically popular for disguises, masks for paparazzi, and harsh lighting on sets. Sounds familiar way that we're using them today. So here are like very popular styles that were featured since the 1930s, because that's as long as we've had them. We haven't even had them for 100 years. That's pretty crazy. So take a look at these in the 1930s, the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and today. We don't have one, I guess. We can't say what the 20s are popular yet, but tell me in the comments which one of these is your favorite style. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, which one of those do you wish was your favorite kind of sunglasses? Go ahead and type it in the comments before we move on. Okay, now here's some interesting psychology about sunglasses. Sunglasses, a lot of people feel more attractive or find other people more attractive in the sunglasses, and they add facial symmetry, which creates more physical attractiveness. So a lot of us don't have exact facial symmetry. And when you put on sunglasses, you're kind of masking. Jen says the 60s. I love the 60s. I think the 60s are becoming my new favorite decade. Okay, so when you put on sunglasses, sunglasses are objectively symmetrical. So you're actually creating symmetry on your face. And that is like, symmetry is something that we are designed to be attracted to biologically, okay? And when we're less symmetrical, we're less attractive biologically. So when we create more symmetry, we're more attracted. Now, when we add more symmetry with the sunglasses, we're more attractive. So due to the initial connection that we had with that like blast in the connection with celebrities wearing sunglasses, we had this perceived level of elegance and eminence when we wear them. So when we put on sunglasses, we're like, I am high level, right? And when we are wearing sunglasses, we are also aware that our eye movements are concealed. And we will make more random eye movements that are not conforming to social norms, meaning that we'll like let our eyes dart around and go back and forth during a conversation and not make as look prolonged eye contact during that conversation. Also in studies, wearing sunglasses decreases the wearer's level of trustworthiness. So if I'm wearing sunglasses, you will perceive me to have a little less level of trustworthiness. And I just put in, I can't remember his real name in the movie, but Frankenstein's, his sunglasses from the movie Big Daddy, because I think that that's a really good example of sunglasses making you feel like you are wearing a mask, right? Okay, so let's move on. Oh, Candace said she liked the cat eye sunglasses. Here are some fun facts about sunglasses. Technically, the term sunglasses isn't correct, and it hasn't been, because one of the reasons that sunglasses were invented was because that we needed the plastic for it to work. We needed the frame to be plastic. So technically they would be called sun plastics. Isn't that crazy? But I'm not saying that. You're probably not saying that, just the way that I'm not correcting myself to say sea star instead of starfish anymore. Like that's not happening for me. So you don't have to correct yourself either. We can just live our lives. The brand Luxottica, I don't know how to say that either, is the conglomerate of sunglasses. And if you can think of a brand of sunglasses, they probably own them. It's crazy. They own everything. An American sits on, or breaks a pair of sunglasses every 14 minutes. I don't know what's happening with us, but that's happening a lot. That's quite a lot. That's a lot. I don't even want to do the math on how much money that is. Only about 25% of sunglasses actually protect your eyes from the sun. And on the next slide, I'll tell you what you want to actually look for when you're getting a new pair of sunglasses. The most expensive pair of sunglasses is $400,000, and that's the one that you can see right here. It's made by a Swiss company called Chopard. $400,000. You want those, or do you want something else? I don't know. Ray-Ban aviator sunglasses became the hottest accessory with celebrities and the rest of society, and Tom Cruise is responsible for the spike in their sales from the movies like Risky Business. He was just wearing them all the time. Now, there's a debate, and I want your opinion here, about whether your eyebrows should be able to be seen over your sunglasses. What do you think? Is it necessary? Is it creepy to not have your eyebrows being seen? Do you think they should be seen? Yes or no? Type it in the chat. No? No. Getting a lot of no's. Okay. Elton John. Okay. Elton John is a fun fact all on his own. Elton John is believed to own 1,000 pairs of sunglasses. Check out that room. I love it. And this is a little collage someone made of Elton John over the years in his fantastic sunglass wear. I love it so much. He has just a brilliant collection. Just beautiful. If you ever want to like look up beautiful sunglass wear, he's the guy. Now, what to look for in sunglasses if you are getting them, because like we said, 25% of them are actually not protecting your eyes from the sun. You want 100% protection from both UVB and UVA rays. That's something that you want to look for. And the lenses should block out UV wavelengths up to 400 nanometers. I don't really know all those things and what they mean, but I know that that's what you want. Okay, so Sunglasses Day, it's coming up. So we don't ever celebrate the holiday on the day because we want to give you time to prepare. We want to give you time to get ready for it, to make your crafts, to get the tables ready, to get your outfits ready, to do whatever it is that you want to do. So on Sundays, when we come to Operation Merriment, you're never going to like get the thing on the day. We're going to give you at least one day, probably a couple days to get ready. So for example, today is the 25th and Sunglasses Day is coming up on the 27th. So you've got 2 days. All right. So Sunglasses Day was originally organized by the Vision Council in 2009 to remind people to take good care of their eyes. So we've been doing that for 14 years now. Very exciting. And it's celebrated every year on the 27th. It's not one of those like it's the last fourth Thursday of the month or whatever. Ooh, this way. Now, I think that sunglasses are the only thing that can make a duck look hotter. And as we know, ducks are very hot already. Dimitri Martin said to make a squirrel look less uptight, put tiny sunglasses on it. And that brings me to what we are going to do this week for our Merriment mission. We are going to start something that technically isn't a thing yet. Now, you've heard of eye bombing. Probably, right? If you're hanging out with me on the internet, at least, you know what eye bombing is, I'm imagining. Eye bombing is where you add googly eyes to inanimate objects to personify them. You probably see faces and things. So you add googly eyes to like bring out the face. Well, merriment makers are going to start a new movement called lens flaring. Flaring like adding flair to something like an office space. And we're going to add sunglasses, eyeglasses, monocles, and all sorts of other eyewear to inanimate objects. Now, you may be thinking, this isn't a thing yet. And yeah, it is. It's not actually, is what I'm trying to say. These are things that I've been doing since, I guess, 2012, when I first started doing guerrilla art officially. I've been carrying around little mini glasses and sunglasses and putting them on things. But when I tried to just make this as my mission for you guys, I scoured the internet so hard for examples of this online to try to showcase other street artists doing this. And the only person I could find doing this was myself. So I'm making up a name for it. And I went in between spectacling and lens flaring, and spectacling is really hard to say and spell and understand. So we're going with lens flaring. And this is what we're doing. We're adding glasses to inanimate objects. That's the new thing. There's no hashtag for this yet. There's no movement for it. It's very simple. It's just like eye bombing. It's lens flaring. I hope you're excited because this is what's happening. I'm very excited. So all you need is a pair of sunglasses. Now, this week we're celebrating sunglasses because it's in honor of Sunglasses Day, but you do not need to do sunglasses for every time that you're doing lens flaring. Does that make sense? Like this week, like let's do sunglasses because we're celebrating Sunglasses Day, but in the future, to honor lens flaring, you can do a monocle, you can do any kind of eyewear. And you can decorate your sunglasses if you want to. And if you go out into the field in public, you might want to bring, you know, some sort of adhesive depending on where you end up sticking it. I found that when I went out in the world, I wanted to like put it on certain things that didn't have hooks. And it would have been a lot easier if I had a little like pair of glue dots or something to just kind of hold them there. So that's what you're going to do. And then you want a camera to document it. Now, let's talk about the tutorial of what you want to do in terms of just like the steps. It's really just decorate your sunglasses in any way you want, inspired by this presentation. And we're going to give you some visuals and then go out in the world and add your sunglasses to an inanimate object. And then as always, display, educate, and document. You want to share your mission out in the real world. And don't forget to educate someone about what you learned this week. Take photos of your mission and let's see those lens flares. Tag me at Merriment Maker on Instagram and hashtag Merriment Making. I will reshare it. So where are you going to put those sunglasses? First of all, can we talk about if you guys are excited about this? Do you have ideas already? Do you know where you're going to put them? Can we get some comments going in the chat? Here are some ideas of where to put sunglasses. I just took this pair of sunglasses yesterday to the grocery store, and all of these pictures right here are in the same grocery store. Okay, so you can put them there and just like look how much whimsy it's adding just right now. So statues, plants, stuffed animals, skeletons, decorations, fences, playgrounds, condiments, office supplies, food, cars, glassware, teapots, vases, instruments, balloons, toys, maybe adult toys, tools, appliances, garbage cans, ghosts, furniture, signs, things with double O's. So you can make like put the sunglasses into the O's. So remember that sunglasses can be any size that you want. They can be as small as a dollhouse miniature. They can be larger ones like this. They can be for a child's head. They can be for an adult head. You can also make your own size. You can make custom ones. You can make giant ones. Fruit and vegetables at the grocery store is a great idea. Yes, Jen. Tips. Look for faces in things. If you can't imagine the face already, you can eye bomb it first. You can add googly eyes first if you're having trouble imagining where the face goes. You can decorate the sunglasses. You can use different sizes. You can layer the glasses. We're like doing like a ton of them at once, all on one thing. You can dangle things from the glasses like mustaches, you know, using like a chain or tape or something. You don't have to limit yourself to 2 eyes. You can add on a third lens, or you can do just one lens. You can create novelty glasses. You can hold up the glasses in the photo. So you can make like the sunset wear glasses. It doesn't have to be worn on the front of the head. Like see right here, this man's back of the head is wearing glasses and they're making his fat roll light a cigarette. That's very funny. It also doesn't have to be worn on the eyes. What if it's worn on the chin? It doesn't matter. It can be worn, I mean, none of these are really wearing it on the eyes. It's an inanimate object. It doesn't matter. You have a whole set of objects, glasses. You could do like a row of things. If you don't have a pair of sunglasses, you could go to a store, find the setup of sunglasses, like where they're selling sunglasses, and move that pair of sunglasses and repurpose that to another location in the store. And like I said, bring glue dots or tape in case you might need to secure your sunglasses. Now, here are a bonus list of 20 ways to celebrate. And notice, I hope you're paying attention to all the giant amount of images in this slideshow that can be inspiration for you for different ways to create sunglasses, like the cucumbers and the straw. There's so many different ways to create glasses. So the Vision Council is officially the one who sponsors this holiday. So you can tag hashtag sunglasses selfie, hashtag National Sunglasses Day, and at the Vision Council if you want to maybe be reposted by them. They also have a download of the Vision Council's like marketing package. They have some promotional items. And in the workbook, all of this stuff is going to be listed out for you, and I'll show you that. Look at how the sunglasses have changed over the past 100 years. You can check out the fashion of that. Check out your local retailer for a discount on sunglasses. There are lots of discounts on the 27th. Get a new pair either way for yourself. Get prescription sunglasses. If you wear, glasses regularly, it can be really awkward to just try to wear sunglasses over your glasses or instead of, because you're blind. So then you can get yourself a pair of prescription sunglasses. I find that it's very worth it. Give your friend a pair, base your outfit on your sunglasses, get an eye exam. You can learn about how to choose the best sunglasses for your protection. I'm linking you to a whole list that's like much more detailed about the example that I gave for like the UV rays and all that stuff. There's 3 really good sunglasses songs: Sunglasses at Night by Corey Hart, Cheap Sunglasses by ZZ Top, The Future So Bright I Gotta Wear Shades by Timbuk 3. You can also watch movies that feature sunglasses like Men in Black, Blues Brothers, Thelma and Louise, and Risky Business. You can set up a photo booth, like just a backdrop and your phone with a bunch of sunglasses as props. You can read about this pair of sunglasses that was left on a museum floor and everybody thought that it was art. So they were like getting on the ground with like fancy cameras and taking pictures. And it was just like someone dropped a pair of sunglasses. You can see just a couple days ago, Beyonce wore these gigantic sunglasses on a date with Jay-Z. And you can visit, I know these are just regular glasses, but I love it. This is Pinky the Elephant, and she is in, oh goodness, I forgot where she's located. It's in the United States, but the link will take you there. Jen is asking, do you recommend leaving the glasses where we put them or just taking pictures? Either. So the only reason that I kept these is because I realized, like, I wanted to create options for you guys in the slideshow and demonstrate what was happening so that you had a visual representation of what to do on your mission. And I was like, oh my God, no one has done this. I can't just screen grab stuff, right? I needed to go out and be the thing I wanted to see, quite literally. So I ran out and I went out and it was raining, and the only place where I could do it was at like an indoor grocery store, and I just grabbed these sunglasses, which I wanted to keep, frankly. So I just went around and I put them and I took pictures for the sole purpose of this slideshow to create the pictures, right? So in that case, I was doing it to take pictures. Now, if your motivation is to take the funky pictures and show that, I think that that's fine. And, you know, if you're making the sun wear the photo, like, or wear the glasses for the photo, that's fine. It doesn't really matter necessarily, like, what is your motivation, right? Is your motivation to create an interesting photo that's shared on social media and your audience is going to enjoy that? Or is your motivation for the audience to be the people that find it at the grocery store? Is the motivation for the people who find it on like the park bench or in the park? Like, are you very offended by the potential idea of litter, right? Like, it depends on your personality. But I think that leaving a pair of sunglasses on something is no different than doing any other art installation. It's no different than eye bombing. It's no different than any other sort of art installation in terms of the things that you're leaving behind. So if you want to leave it on something, I say go ahead. That is my intention with this. My intention that when I do it for real, I will leave them there. I will actively leave them on a statue. I will leave them on a plant. I will leave them at the grocery store when I do it for real. So that is what I will do. And my intent is to actually like create an art installation for future people to enjoy and to kind of come by and see it and say, what is happening here? That's very funny, because I think that an in-person interaction, installation, and like an interpretation of something in person has a higher effect than it can have on the internet, even if we can reach a bigger audience. I hope that answers your question. Now, here's some additional visual inspiration for you. And this is, you're only going to get in the in the slideshow. So take a moment to absorb these. I've got a couple slides for you of visuals of just very, very silly sunglasses. And you can write down any ideas that you get for ways that you might want to make your sunglasses. Got those very fun clocks and the pig nose, the cactus. I love the layers on that one. Now, I will say the only thing that I've seen on the internet of people doing stuff where they're adding it to something is on animals. That's the only thing that I've seen, but that's not an inanimate object, right? So, and I feel like also people can make the argument that animals might not want to wear that, like that people don't like, you know, animal costumes and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't really care, but that's the only place that I've seen it happen. I see decorating them on their own, like a craft, and I see putting them on animals and maybe animal butts or on the backs of people's heads, but I don't see it being put on inanimate objects. So we're going to start that, and we're going to call it lens flaring. So noticing putting it on a ghost. I love that. They're drinking a Capri Sun, dangling something from the top, decorating it around. This is what I meant by putting it around a sun, making it have like a sun thing. You can decorate, like you can make it out of paper here. You can make it out of noodles or straw. You can do it really small. You can put it upside down. Do a classic disguise, one of those. You could just get one of those, or one of these that like the eyes like come out. All of those count. You could add fur to the outside, glue anything you want onto them. The plastic aspect of sunglasses is honestly its own canvas, right? You get a thick enough one, you can hot glue the crap out of it. It's really just an amazing space for you to have a free-for-all of craftiness. You can get giant ones. I love these ones that look like flies. I love the Una one, like the Una sunglasses. That's really cool. Adding chains, adding antenna. That's cool. All of it's great. The goggles, that could be part of this. Putting something inside of it, like that's like cereal. I don't even know what's happening there. The little boppers, making it say a word, shapes, putting something on a plant. That's cool. I like the plant one. That's technically doing it. Layering them all at once, writing on the glasses, stuffing something inside of them. And here's an example of eye bombing. And I saw this and I saw the little hooks on the side here. And I was like, oh, that would be perfect to slide the ear parts of the glasses into. You see that? And then here are some that I did at the store. It doesn't really matter. So these ones I didn't even bring. I just moved those from the pharmacy over to the stuffed animal. It didn't fit perfectly, but then it's funny, like you're walking down the aisle and you're like, oh, look, he's wearing sunglasses. It's just funny. These ones are funny. You can find or make novelty ones. You can add googly eyes to the outside. There's an infinite amount of options that you can do. Three of them, fingers, shapes. This is one I did on my friend April's porch. I left that there. I was looking for that picture. I finally found it. They were just like little doll glasses that I found at like a craft store. Okay, so that is in your backyard. Yeah, there you go. You can do it to yourself. You can lens flare yourself. So Operation Merriment, let me know if you have any questions about this. Let me know what you're thinking and if you know where you're going to do it. And If you enjoyed this, Operation Merriment happens every Sunday on a new unusual holiday. We go through history, trivia, and a merriment perspective on this. We go through 10 plus ways to celebrate every single holiday. There's links and resources in the workbook, printables, mood board, replays. There's 60 plus in the archives. There's easy tutorials for you to create your own acts of kindness and merriment in the world, because we believe that everyone should be out there creating the good news. And if you want more joy, there's a free trial. So you can sign up today for just Operation Merriment, and you can get your first 2 weeks free. And that's at uncustomary.org/Operation Merriment. Or you can join the Merriment Makers, which includes Operation Merriment, which is almost half the cost of the membership. And you get 20 more resources a month and $2,300 worth of archives and a 5-day trial for free. So that's at uncustomary.org/movement. And honestly, that's a much better deal because you're getting this plus that. And it's just included because the Merriment Makers are spoiled. So if you just like this, you can definitely get that, and you can get a free trial. But this is just one of 20 resources that you're getting, and it's basically just for free included. It's pretty crazy. And here's a testimonial from someone who is in the Merriment Makers. She said, Uncustomary has been a life changer for me. I'm not a naturally positive person. A few years ago, I was so miserable, isolated, and down on myself that I decided to make a change. That's when I found Mary. She's helped me to see the positive sides of life and myself. I've literally changed my entire life within 3 years using the joy and support that I've received from Mary and the Merriment Makers. That's Kitty. And these are some examples of some of the missions that people have done. And actually, these are Jen and Candace, who are here today right now. These are beautiful examples of some kindness, merriment missions that have been done. Some of these are using printables that have been shared in the missions. Some of them are things that have been handmade. They're all absolutely beautiful, but they've all been inspired by the unusual holidays that we have done together. And here's another testimonial from Julia, who's been with us since the very beginning. Mary gives us a literal rainbow of thoughts, ideas, courses, and strategies to bring more positivity, color, lightness, and self-understanding into our lives. Mary is genuinely interested in our needs, and the group itself reflects that same genuine interest. Being a part of this group has been a delight, and I am so looking forward to following where Uncustomary leads us. Being a part of this group is a joy and a privilege, even if I'm somewhat of a lurker. Even a drop of goodness is worth the membership. So if you don't know if you're going to actually use everything, because there are years and years of archives, and there are 20 new pieces of content that drop every month, and you're not sure if that's going to be enough, if you're not going to be able to use all of it, Julia and other people definitely say that it's worth it. There's texts, there's a group chat, there's mail, and all of those things are things that are stuff that just come to you, and that can be worth it on its own. And here's another testimonial that Lola said, there's so many memberships out there. Most I dip out after 1 to 3 months, but with Merriment Maker, I've kept my membership for 6 years. The community is so refreshing. There's thousands of resources. Mary is real. She has 2 psych degrees. She's helped me time and time again. So if this is something that you're wanting, if you like joy, if you like learning, if you want to kind of get out of your rut and you're feeling like you're very if you have a lot of responsibilities and you're very overwhelmed and you want to move from feeling exhausted and overwhelmed and responsible, and you want to find the inner child joy back in your life. If you want to go from that place where you are, that consistent feeling of not excited, but then there's this one thing that comes up in your life and you're like, oh, that's exciting. And I feel this burst of energy, right? And we get this drop of faith in humanity again. We're like, okay, that's going to be enough to sustain me. The merriment making method is a 9-step framework method that's based on embodying joy, creating joy, and spreading joy. And it's modeled after the idea that we don't need this bipolar necessity of finding the next stimulus of dopamine hits and hoping that the faith in humanity will come again. It's modeled after creating our own good news and being reminded of the faith in humanity every day. And that's where I come in, because I know that it's not always going to be your job to be reminded of that good. So I know that it's my job as a merriment maker to lift you up and give you the support and systems to lift you up every day. So I want to reestablish and reclaim your connection to autopilot. If you feel like you're on autopilot and you're overwhelmed, I want to make sure that the only thing that feels on autopilot are the systems and support that are lifting you up, that are making you happy, and that are creating your success. So come on over to the Merriment Makers and you can get a free 5-day trial. You can check out all the archives at uncustomary.org/movement. And you can also just do Operation Merriment if you want. But either way, you get a free trial, and I'd love to have you. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you this time next week for our next mission, number 65. And I can't wait for you to go lens flaring. Now, let me share with you your workbook. How do I get this in here? If you're in the Merriment Makers, it's already in your thing, but if you're not, I'm gonna send this in the chat. And then you should be able to download that. Can you guys see that? Okay, go ahead and download that. And there we are. So if you have any questions, let me know. And if not, I will see you next time. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and happy early sunglasses day. Bye-bye.